Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel. And I didn't want to make a video like this so early on in the season, but today we're discussing what is going wrong at Manchester United. What is the issue currently at Manchester United? Because yes, it's a very reactionary world, and yes, I'm jumping on this currently, but all of a sudden the pressure after last weekend's 2-1 defeat to Brighton is all on Erik ten Hag, a man who's on borrowed time, many perceive. I don't perceive this, and that's not my point of view on the manager, but from the weekend I saw a few things wrong with what the manager set the team up, how the team played, and how I've seen a bit of a theme develop over Erik ten Hag's period of time at Manchester United as the manager of the football club. And I think it's a deep-rooted issue here at the football club that's preceded Erik ten Hag and may go beyond Erik ten Hag's time in charge as well. It's a real problem with the style of attacking football Manchester United play. You think back across the last few managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even to a degree under Ralf Rangnick as well. Prior to that, under Jose Mourinho in particular, Manchester United has a real problem creating chances and scoring chances. It's known amongst Manchester United fans that every striker we've signed has not flourished because of the lack of supply to these centre forwards. Edinson Cavani, a prime example, probably our best striker since maybe equal with Lukaku since the post-Ferguson era. He was someone so good at feeding off scraps, feeding off nothing and finding the back of the net. Anthony Martial struggled at the club when he was there because of lack of opportunity and fitness. Ibrahimovic did very, very well. Lukaku did very, very well considering the lack of supply. But unless you're superstars like those three players, especially Edinson Cavani, the side has not created enough for a centre forward. And what we saw on the weekend, bringing it sort of full circle, was Manchester United's having to play this basketball style of football, which United fans have coined, obviously famously sort of made by United stands Mark Goldbridge. He's sort of the voice a lot of United fans, and fair enough, so a massive following, but he's coined it, and I really agree with it. Last weekend against, 2 weekends ago against Fulham, last weekend versus Brighton, you look at every United game, and a lot of games, especially when it's 0-0 or you go down 1-0 at halftime, it becomes sort of a ping-pong basketball style. You attack, I attack, you attack, I attack. And I saw it in particular on the weekend. Manchester United had a solid start to the game, a lot of possession, a lot of sideways possession, unable to make any real chances, got stuck offside a lot with Brighton playing a high line, and we're really being frustrated by Brighton in terms of inability to create clear-cut opportunities. And I think it's now gone down to the point where Erik ten Hag has sort of had to either enforce it, or it just comes on naturally with these players that in the second half, United then go and become stretched defensively to allow themselves to go and counter-attack the opposition the other way. So it's almost like, we'll let you attack, and hopefully we don't concede, in the hope that we can get you on the counter-attack and play that way. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a counter-attacking style of football which Manchester United played, it worked under COVID where there wasn't fans and you couldn't feel the real pressure developing. We know Jose Mourinho, defensive system where the counter-attack would do well and he could use that counter-attack to flourish, or a piece of individual brilliance. Those two styles of football have been the way that United have scored goals in the last 6 seasons, and it's continued under Erik ten Hag. You look to the first season, start of the season, trying to play a possession style of football, got exposed by Brighton, exposed by Brentford. He then went to a counter-attacking system versus Liverpool, beat them in that famous night. Erik ten Hag's first went to the football club. And that season, despite it being very successful, a lot of it was based upon counter-attacking style of football, sitting deep, try and counter, get chances that way. And it worked because the defence was so solid. Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw was available, so was Rafa Varane. In many regards, it could still work with this team. A fantastic back line on Nazar Masraoui, Matthias de Ligt, Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Lenny Euro when he comes back. There's some fantastic defenders at the football club. And you've got creators like Bruno Fernandes who can hit the Hollywood pass in many regards, and as such can hit the counter-attack well with pace. Alejandro Garnacho, Marcus Rashford flourishing in that first season because they play the counter-attacking style of football. And you look at Marcus Rashford and the ups and downs and the like, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer flourished, counter-attacking style of football. Erik ten Hag's first season, counter-attacking style of football, he flourished. So it's a lot to say about Manchester United. I think that's where the issue is at the club right now, currently. I think defensively, when people were available, last season was a bit of a blip defensively because a lot of people unavailable. But throughout all the big games, best performance under Ten Hag and the like of the last sort of 2 and a bit years, defensively it's been solid. But it's been going forward where the problem has been. How can United break a low block at home? We saw Bournemouth employ it last season and then go win a game of football. Burnley got a point against Manchester United. And then what I was very worried about as a United fan and watching the game, on the weekend, on Saturday, Brighton had a high line. yet Manchester United can still not find a way to get in behind without being offside or play through the lines effectively to get chances. Brighton didn't create much for themselves in the first half, but they got a goal when they needed to because United made a mistake. But United couldn't find a way through because they couldn't break through the high line. And I think it's multiple reasons. I think it's embedded in the football club right now. Manchester United cannot play against a team set up, whether it be a high line or a low block. If a team's set up with the way they want to play, it'll take a miracle for Manchester United to break apart that side. Whether it be a low block, whether it be a high line, it looks at the team struggles. There's not enough creativity, not enough smarts in the ball, and not enough dare and guile and precision to break through the lines. United can keep possession till the cows come home. They can play side to side, a few little triangles here and there. It looks good enough. Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro looking good in midfield. There's no dare, there's no guile to take the game on. Maybe a little dribble into a tough space, work in the half spaces. United really, really struggle at playing the half spaces. I feel like that's something that's really, really poor the football club. Wingers willing to run in behind, but also drop in short, not just drop in short or not just run in behind. There's no real difference making United right now. Bruno Fernandes can be that player, but he's forced to play out of position because Erik ten Hag's forcing Mason Mount into the side, and this is sort of where I'm coming on to. This could be the end of Erik ten Hag because there's no real clear philosophy, and that might be down to him not being able to embed it, or might be down to the club and the players not able to do it. It just seems to be a thing that's carried on since Sir Alex Ferguson has left the club. There is no real clear outlook in terms of going forward and creating goals. How are you going to score goals? We see Chelsea score 6 on the weekend. Yes, Wolves were poor, but they scored 6. We've seen Arsenal batter teams 4 and 5-0 come the end of last season. Man City do it at ease. Liverpool do it at ease. But Manchester United find it so difficult to score goals. I think if you look at Erik ten Hag's seasons, the second season, I'm just going to ignore that for this time, just for the sake of this video. First season, fantastic defensively. To be honest, this season we looked solid enough. There was a few mistakes on the weekend versus Brighton, but solid enough defensively. But the problem was you've only got 1 goal versus Fulham and 1 goal versus Brighton. And to be a top 4 team in this modern Premier League, you can't be doing that. And I've got the stats written down. Erik ten Hag's side, 12.5 shots per game in the opening 2 games, only 4.5 on target, managing only 3 big chances per game. A lot of them coming on the counter-attack in that basketball-style second half of football, which United have enforced this season. Compared to a Liverpool side under new manager, under Arne Slot, people were doubting them, questioning them if they could really go this season. Are they washed? Are they past? Are the players too old? Is there enough quality up top? They haven't signed anyone. Yet they've gone and put 18.5 shots per game on goal, 6.5 on target, and well and truly smashed United in terms of big chance created. Yes, games are a bit different, but Liverpool, a team that many people question, didn't have the big transfer window, big spending like Manchester United, have gotten blowing United out of the water in terms of attacking football. This is Arne Slot's second game at the football club, and he's gone and done that already. You look at Bournemouth, a club that I feel like pretty close, because I like watching them and the way they play their football. Either way, Andoni Iraola sets his sides up. But his sides have a real willingness to go after games, trying to win games, attack the wide spaces. They've got an identity of trying to whip the ball into the box, but also drop into a central striker and play from there. And they still have the 14.5 shots per game, around the same big chance created, 3 per game, and they manage the 4 shots on target per game as well. So comparable or a little bit better than Manchester United. That's Bournemouth, who've had no striker in their first game and had an underdone Evan Ellison in their second game. So that's just comparing where United are currently at. It's a long project, and I get that, and I'm one of the more patient people. I don't think Erik ten Hag should go, but if you cannot implement an attacking philosophy at the football club, you can't go anywhere. And I think Erik ten Hag's time will come short very, very quickly. He needs to find a way for Manchester United to play well and attack well. At the moment, yeah, United can play well but not attack well, not have any real threat in front of goal. And it's a big hurdle for a lot of teams. It took a while for Arsenal to get that over that hurdle, but you can see the seeds were planted early on by Mikel Arteta. Erik ten Hag, to almost save his job, has had to sacrifice different styles of play and styles of football just to stay in the job. It's sort of the last hurrah, it sort of feels like this season for Erik ten Hag. If he doesn't get top 4, he doesn't win a trophy. So for him, early in the season, you've got to try and take the game on. And this basketball second half style of football, it's counter-attack after a counter-attack. Yes, it might work 60, 70% of the time, but it looks awful on the weekend against Brighton when it doesn't work, because there was so many different ways you could have won that game and United didn't win it. And to round it all off, it sort of come back to Erik ten Hag on the weekend, substituting Bruno Fernandes, for me, the best player of the football club off the pitch, for Scott McTominay, who's being sold out of Napoli. Very questionable. Starting Marcus Rashford, who's yet to have any impact on this season, had no real impact last season at all, is bamboozling to me. Persisting with Harry Maguire, I know Antonio on the podcast said it, has sort of this philosophy and belief that a player has to stuff up before a new player can come into the side. You sign Matthias de Ligt, you know Matthias de Ligt, he's played for Bayern Munich, made a Champions League semi-final, yet you won't put him in over Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire makes a mistake for the first Brighton goal. There you go. Marcus Rashford isn't doing enough for you. United don't have any ability to break down a back line, to make smart runs in behind and set things up. Yet Alejandro Garnacho comes on from the bench in the last 2 games. He's assisted Joshua Zirkzee in the opening game and was really unlucky not to score a goal in the game off the bench versus Brighton. The best combination for Manchester United right now is Amad Diallo and Alejandro Garnacho, yet Erik ten Hag persists with Marcus Rashford and Amad Diallo. You're missing out on one of the most dynamic, creative, yet smart wingers in Alejandro Garnacho. You're bringing off your captain, your leader, your best player at the football club, and Bruno Fernandes for Scott McTominay, who has United fans who have been harsh on him, but he hasn't been great at the football club. And you persist with Harry Maguire, who I thought by signing all these centre-backs, you're trying to phase out of the football club. So it's just really strange what Erik ten Hag's doing here. And the point of this video is, the issue obviously is the attacking philosophy, but also Erik ten Hag's under pressure. And the decisions he's making is not helping his own cause. So I just feel like I had to make this video because I compare it to Liverpool and Arne Slot. He's gone and implement his style of football straight away. You know, there's a real willingness to play centrally nowadays. They still press, not crazy, hectic pressing like Jurgen Klopp would, but you can already see the signs of what Arne Slot wants to do with his side. And he's utilising the players that were available to him. I know it was a very, very elite level side, but Erik ten Hag spent a lot of money and he's yet still to implement a consistent, solid style of attacking football. And in this video, I'm trying to work it out. I'd love to see your opinion in the comment section down below. Is it Erik ten Hag's fault? Is this a Manchester United problem? Because I cannot, thinking back and watching the weekend and thinking and looking at the game, I have not seen a clear pattern of attacking football with possession at Manchester United for years now. It wasn't under Jose Mourinho. It was hero ball and individual brilliance. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it was just counter-attacking football. Under Erik ten Hag, it was just counter-attacking football. Yet when he came to the club, there was a promise of possession-based football that would be able to break down a defence and break down the back line. I tell you what, we haven't seen it so far. This basketball back and forth style of football, which you see in the second half, it happened versus Fulham, it happened versus Brighton. It could create some chances, you could win games of football, but equally you're susceptible to losing games of football, and it's a real problem for Manchester United right now. And whether it be him not be able to get across his philosophy or the players not understanding and be able to implement the philosophy, there's a real problem at Manchester United right now. But you look at the names, Amad Diallo, Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, even Mason Mount, I think, has been really poor. You still got midfielders like Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro. It will bamboozle me if they're not able to play and break down in a low block or a high line. It goes beyond me. It must be implemented in this football club that they want to go this open, high-pace, counter-attacking, end-to-end style of football in the second half. And I'm just not a fan of it. I just don't think it works. And we talked to the podcast last week. I was saying it looks like Erik ten Hag's philosophy and style of football is just we're going to adapt to each game. And that just doesn't work. It's not sustainable. It's not a winning mentality. And I think the pressure will show eventually. Can Manchester United turn this around? Can they find a way to play possession style of football and break down a side and score 2 or 3 goals and create 5 or 6 chances, big chance in a game? That's the question I have. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Manchester United? It's obviously always a massive talk every single weekend about Manchester United, but as a supporter, as someone watching the club, as someone who's been really lenient with Erik ten Hag and the side, is this his problem? Is this the players' problem? Is this the club problem? What is going wrong with Manchester United? How do you see it being solved? Because right now it seems very hard for me to see how we can change this style of football that seems to have just become embedded into this Erik ten Hag side across the last season and a bit. It sort of feels like defend and play a slow possession style of football in the first half, and then second half, go be stretched, make it end-to-end, and hopefully you nick a 2-1 or a 2-0 with some good finishing. It seems to be quite strange and doesn't seem to work for me. The pressure is on though. Manchester United play Arne Slot's Liverpool on Sunday evening, a massive game. Liverpool are 2-0. First time Liverpool manager has won the opening 2 games since taking charge, I think since the 90s. So Arne Slot's doing a fantastic job. I'm very big on Liverpool and the form they've got and the players they've got. I think they can truly compete with City and Liverpool, City and Arsenal for a large portion of the season. Probably similar to last year. They're a really, really solid side. And Manchester United backs against the wall. But this would happen 2 years ago when Erik ten Hag first joined the club. 2 tough losses, not playing great. he got a massive win versus Liverpool and a kick-start of the season. So interesting to see how Ten Hag approached that game at Old Trafford come the weekend. That was just my thoughts. It was sitting on my mind. I thought I'd make a video about it. And again, as a Man United fan and seeing Man United title, I'm assuming a lot of people will view this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you solve this issue at Manchester United? Is it deep-rooted? Is it a simple, superficial issue that can be fixed? Let me know that in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like on it. Subscribe to the Players Zone channel if you're new around here. And also press that post notification bell so you know we upload here on the channel. With that being said, ladies and gents, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the midweek rest from the football action. And I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.